Deciding whether the Baseus VD1 Pro is worth buying comes down to one feature that seems almost too convenient to be true: solar-powered parking protection without hardwiring the dashcam into your fuse box. That sounds like Baseus has solved one of the biggest frustrations with parking mode, but there's an important catch. The solar panel isn't doing quite what many buyers assume, and the shortcut that makes this setup so easy changes the type of protection you get when something actually happens. However, when I checked the current price via the link below, the VD1 costs just $109, which is a fraction of the cost of many premium setups, making it one of the most tempting buys on the market right now. So in this review, I'm going to find out if this extremely low price is hiding some serious drawbacks, because there's one specific limitation that could still make a traditional parking setup the better choice. The first thing you need to understand is that this isn't a dash cam that runs from solar power while you're driving. The front camera still needs to be connected to your car's power supply for normal continuous recording, and if you use the rear camera, that camera also connects by cable. The solar panel is there for parking mode. Inside the front camera is a lithium-ion battery, and when you switch the car off, the camera can move into a low-power standby state instead of relying on your starter battery. Baseus claims up to 14 days of parking protection, but that doesn't mean 14 days of continuous video. The camera spends most of that time in standby, and if it detects a collision, strong vibration, or motion, it wakes up and records a protected clip. However, the battery is actually doing most of the work here. It keeps the camera ready after you switch the ignition off, while the solar panel acts more like a trickle charger to help extend that standby time. So the real innovation isn't a dash cam running from sunlight. It's parking protection powered independently of your car battery. And that also means conditions matter. Because if your car spends most of its time in a garage or deep shade, the solar panel obviously has less opportunity to top the battery up. If you normally park outside in decent daylight, it makes much more sense. And if your main reason for ignoring parking mode in the past is that you don't want to connect a dash cam permanently to your car's electrical system, this immediately becomes a very tempting purchase. But removing the hardwire is only valuable if the rest of the installation really is easier. And the good news is that this is much easier to install, in my view, because you don't need to identify constant and accessory power circuits, add fuse taps, find a suitable ground point, or configure a low-voltage cutoff to stop the dash cam draining the car battery. Instead, you mount the front camera, connect its normal driving power cable, and route the rear camera cable if you want rear coverage. Baseus also includes a 32GB microSD card, so you can start recording without immediately buying additional storage. This is a massive advantage over many dash cams that very often don't include a card, but I wouldn't call the whole installation wireless. There's still a power cable running from the front camera to the car, and the rear camera still needs its own wired connection back to the main unit. You'll probably want to tuck those cables around the edge of the headliner and interior trim if you want the installation to look clean. And if you drive a large SUV or another long vehicle, I'd check the rear camera cable length before permanently positioning everything, because at least one owner needed an extension. The camera itself is also compact. You get a small display and physical buttons rather than a large touchscreen, but most settings can also be controlled through the app. The static cling mounting system is useful if you think you may eventually move the camera to another vehicle, because you're not simply sticking the camera directly onto the glass. There's one setup detail I'd check before assuming the job is finished. Parking protection may not be enabled by default, so go into the parking security settings and make sure it's actually switched on. This isn't a wire-free installation, but Baseus has removed the part that many people find most intimidating. But none of this matters if the footage quality is poor. And this is where one of the claims on the product listing needs a closer look. On the face of it, you get 4K front recording at 30 frames per second, together with a 1080p rear camera. The front uses a Sony IMX335 Starvis sensor, along with high dynamic range and a relatively bright lens designed to improve footage in poor light. But there's something important behind Baseus's true 4K claim. The Sony sensor is a roughly 5.1 megapixel sensor, while native 4K requires around 8.3 megapixels. So although the VD1 Pro saves a 3840 by 2160 video file, the sensor itself can't capture native 4K detail. The resulting footage is being upscaled to that resolution. That sounds like a serious problem, but I wouldn't judge the camera from that specification alone. Independent testing has found the front footage surprisingly sharp during the day, with useful road detail and decent exposure control. And that's what matters if you actually need the recording after an accident. You want to be able to see where the vehicles were positioned, whether someone crossed a lane marking, what color a traffic light was, what happened immediately before a collision, and when conditions allow it, the number plate of the other vehicle. During the day, the VD1 Pro does a respectable job of preserving that kind of information. At night, the StarVis sensor helps keep the road, lane markings, and nearby vehicles visible, but number plates become much less predictable. Headlights, rain, dark roads, and reflective surfaces can easily turn a plate into a bright patch or blur the individual characters. So I'd describe the front camera as good for the money, but I wouldn't choose the VD1 Pro because the product listing says 4K. But despite the questionable 4K wording, the front footage can still provide useful evidence. Unfortunately, the same praise doesn't apply equally to the rear camera. Baseus currently states a 140-degree viewing angle at the front and 120 degrees at the rear. That gives you a useful view around the vehicle without stretching the image so wide that everything in the distance becomes tiny. But here's something you might not realize until after you've bought it. The front camera is the stronger part of this system, while the 1080p rear camera is better thought of as additional evidence rather than a second camera that matches the front for clarity. There's also no cabin camera, so if you drive for Uber, Lyft, or another rideshare service and need evidence of what happens inside the vehicle, I'd look at a 3-channel model instead. For most drivers who just want front and rear road coverage, that won't matter. But now we get to the biggest compromise with the entire dash cam. Because 2-camera parking coverage doesn't mean the VD1 Pro protects your car in the same way as a more advanced parking system. This is where you need to decide whether the VD1 Pro is clever enough for what you want or simply too limited. That low-power sleep state is also where the problem appears. The VD1 Pro isn't continuously buffering video while it waits for something to happen, so you shouldn't assume it already has the seconds before an impact stored and ready to save. In one independent long-term test, the camera woke and began recording within a couple of seconds after the trigger. Imagine another vehicle reverses into your bumper. The impact happens first, the camera detects it, wakes up, and then begins recording. That means you could get very useful footage of the offending vehicle immediately afterwards, potentially including its number plate as it drives away, but you may not have footage showing the approach and exact moment the collision happened. That's a meaningful difference compared with buffered parking mode. A buffered system continually holds a short section of recent footage in memory. If an impact occurs, it can then save video from before the trigger as well as afterwards. If someone argues about exactly how they approached your parked car before hitting it, that earlier footage can be valuable. So I think the best way to describe the VD1 Pro is as an event-triggered parking recorder rather than a full-time security camera. Baseus says both G-sensor collisions and motion detection can wake the camera, but I wouldn't treat that as equivalent to a continuously watching security system. Sensitivity creates another trade-off. If the G-sensor is set too high, normal actions such as shutting a door can trigger a parking event, and some owners have experienced exactly that. I'd rather have a camera wake too easily than sleep through a genuine collision, but false triggers create more incident files and can use more of the internal battery. So the solar system does achieve something useful, event-based parking protection without relying on a fuse box hardwire. But the compromise is how it's achieved. The VD1 Pro can spend days ready to react because it isn't continuously recording everything around your car. That's very different from giving you 14 days of permanent surveillance. If your main concern is someone bumping your car in a supermarket or workplace car park, this could be all the protection you need. But if you want continuous recording, footage from before an impact, or a system that acts more like a security camera watching the area around your vehicle, you'll need to look more carefully at the alternatives. For normal driving, the VD1 Pro has a lot of features compared to its low price. You get GPS, voice control, 5 GHz Wi-Fi 6, and the app for viewing recordings and changing settings. GPS gives you useful journey and location information alongside your footage. Voice control lets you perform simple actions without reaching toward the windscreen, and because the camera still has physical buttons and its own small display, you're not completely dependent on your phone. The app lets you preview footage, download clips, view GPS information, and install over-the-air firmware updates. That last feature is more useful than it might sound because firmware updates can potentially fix software problems after you've bought the camera. But I'd keep expectations realistic around Wi-Fi 6. It doesn't mean large 4K files instantly appear on your phone. One independent test found that around 3 minutes of footage could take roughly 3 minutes to transfer. Some owners report much quicker and trouble-free connections, while others complain about connectivity, so performance does appear to vary. There's an even more important limitation if you're buying the VD1 Pro, mainly for parking protection. This is local Wi-Fi, not a mobile data connection. Your phone needs to be close enough to connect directly to the dash cam. So if someone hits your vehicle while you're inside a restaurant or shopping center, the camera isn't going to send a live alert to your phone from the car park. There's no remote live view or cloud connection built into the standard system. Storage is surprisingly confusing too. Baseus includes a 32GB high-endurance card, which is useful because you can start recording immediately. But the published maximum capacity isn't consistent. The linked listing currently states support for cards up to 512GB, while Baseus's own current product FAQ states support for up to 256GB. So if you plan to buy a very large card specifically for this camera, I'd check the latest compatibility information first. Whatever capacity you choose, I'd favor a high-endurance card because front and rear recording can generate a lot of data. Loop recording will overwrite the oldest normal clips automatically, but more storage gives you a longer history before that happens. So what do existing customers have to say? Well, the customer rating sits around 4 stars at the time of recording, but the pattern behind that number is more useful than the score itself. Owners regularly praise the front video quality, easy installation, and hardwire-free parking system, while reliability complaints are the part I'd watch more closely. Some buyers report isolated incidents of cameras failing or stopping recording properly, although that doesn't mean every VD1 Pro is unreliable. There are plenty of owners reporting a good experience, and because the camera supports over-the-air firmware updates, I'd make sure the software is current before assuming unusual behavior means the hardware itself has failed. Heat is another area worth considering because this camera contains a lithium-ion battery and spends its life mounted against a windscreen. It includes high-temperature protection and an automatic shutdown feature. That's sensible because protecting the battery matters, but obviously it won't be capturing footage when shut down. What we don't have yet is enough independent long-term evidence to know how the internal lithium battery will age after several years of repeated summer heat. That doesn't make the design unsafe or unreliable by default. It's simply one of the areas I'd watch more carefully as this model gets older. And that brings us to something very important. Baseus has made parking mode much easier, but doing that required a different design with a different set of compromises. This is where I think the VD1 Pro starts to make sense for a very specific buyer. Because by now the trade-off is clear. The Baseus gives you much easier battery-backed parking protection, but you sacrifice some of the pre-impact evidence a more advanced parking system can capture. There's another important consideration though, because Baseus isn't the only way to avoid fusebox hardwiring anymore. Some competing dash cams can use an OBD2 power cable for parking mode, which also avoids fuse taps. The difference with the Baseus is that its own battery handles parking standby rather than continuing to rely on power from the vehicle while it's parked. So I wouldn't tell you that the VD1 Pro gives you better parking protection than a more sophisticated system, because it doesn't. The advantage is that it gives you a much easier route to useful parking protection. That could be valuable if you lease your car, change vehicles regularly, or simply don't want to alter the car's electrical connections. So I'd say that solar parking mode can indeed work, and as a result, the installation process has been simplified to some extent. But who should actually buy the VD1 Pro? You should buy the VD1 Pro if you want a simple front and rear dash cam with good front video quality and, most importantly, parking protection without having to hardwire the camera into your fuse box. I'd look elsewhere if your priority is buffered footage from before an impact, continuous parking recording, remote notifications, cloud access, an interior camera, or stronger rear camera performance at night. My linked video list below can help. But if you normally park outside, mainly want protection against parking bumps, and value an easier installation over the most advanced parking surveillance, I think the VD1 Pro makes a lot of sense. Get yours via the link in the description.